welcome. It's been a while since I've done a live, although I did do a live with Adam the other night, but as a big thank you for sending beers and doing a review of them. So tonight I thought I'd put the old internet on, and I just noticed that there's 3 other people doing lives, so it's like I may well be chatting to myself for 20 minutes, but I'm good with chatting to myself. I can have a beer in peace. Wife's watching Stranger Things, and it's just freaky. So I thought, sod that. I'll come down the shed, put the old thing on, and have a chat. Good evening, Thomas. How are we? It is warm. No sound. Good evening, Negan. Bloody hope so. Otherwise, I'll just fuck off now. Right, let's put this pop out chat on, because it's a lot easier not to read it on the there we go. It's a lot easier just to look that way a second and read it off the laptop, although for streaming the phone is still superior. And no, because the Chromebook in the shed, yeah, he was joking. The Chromebook in the shed just keeps dropping the internet, and it was doing me absolute boating. But I'm using the Chromebook primarily for streaming Nottingham Forest. Somebody's given me a way of getting into the Forest matches. Well, supposedly. We'll see if it works. And so I'm drinking and wearing 4-Finger Jack. 200 quid a week, eh? 200,000 a week, Jesus. So I'm drinking that, and it's not looking too bad, is it really? First, I haven't done a review yet, but first proper drink of it. I'll do a review separately to this, because this is more about just having a drink and a chat rather than. But yeah, it's looking good. Good orangey pour, hazy. Nice bit of a tropical nose. Only 4.6%, so at least it's not too heavy going. One has to remember sometimes that you can't be drinking big drinks day in, day out. Yeah, even if you want to. Prune juice back on the go. Yeah. I've contemplated doing a prune juice wine. I've contemplated doing an orange juice wine, simply for the cost. The cost of orange juice wine is dead cheap. Oh, gotta say, for a homebrew, it's tasting all right. It's not tasting homebrewy, which was always the worry. There's the grain brew. It's just starting to go a bit more solid. Well, a little bit. No, not quite. Probably be a day or two. Depends how hot it gets. But yeah, quite a hazy pour that is. Looks different in this light to how it does on the decking, to be fair. But yeah, hope everyone's having a good weekend. It is warm again. It's as muggy as hell. Good evening, Greg. How are we? And was you going to a football match earlier or something? I did see a video pop up on YouTube. And you know, the old shorts. Shorts are going to be dead handy. You know, for you being a football fan, going to football matches, but also in pubs. You know, like in the different brew dogs that you visit. Little sub 1 minute short. Brilliant. Good evening, righty. And yeah, cracking for that. And it gets people to see, because let's be fair, not a lot of us have seen a lot of brewdog pubs. But if that's where you're going all around the country, especially with your travelling around, it's great for your chan, really. Spence was playing. How did he go on? All right. Nothing but admiration for him. He helped us go up. He was one of the key players who helped us get back in the Premiership. You know, he obviously didn't want to come to Forest. Once he heard the big clubs were coming in, he wanted to go there. And, you know, you can't fault him. He got out of Middlesbrough where he was not wanted. Didn't have time to shine. That's a shame. My only worry is that you go to somewhere like Spurs and you don't get in the first team. unless someone's injured. That's that. If I'm a footballer, and yeah, money's all right. Money's not everything in this world. Getting out there, enjoying what you're doing. Um, it's all right playing, but you know, you're getting into the Premiership. You sign for a Premiership club. You want to be playing. Good on you, mate. Yeah, this is now. This is where we all of us who do these beer channels, everyone's got a slight different thing that they do. I like gardening and theme parks as well as the beer, and obviously you like your footy as well as the beer. Craig likes his birds and his walking and doing his vlogs, and so it's all very different. All grows your channel a little bit, and but it gives it insight to you know what you do in that, and it's all good. So this is tasting nice. Gotta be honest. Don't drink too much. I've got work in the morning, so I don't get too steamy. Good evening, Christopher. Just been sat on the settee last 2 hours trying not to fall asleep. Jesus. The heat, got the French doors open and the heat's just boiling. Sitting there like trying not to nod off. And you know what it'll be tonight, don't you? You'll be in bed tonight. You won't be able to sleep because it's too flipping hot. We haven't got the aircon on or anything, but it's not hot enough to put the aircon on. Got to think about your electricity, haven't you, these days? God knows what we're all going to do this winter, but yeah, is what it is. So, got a cracking beer hall. As you can see, the beer room's actually getting a bit more bulkier again. Got a cracking beer hall from Lidl earlier. 12 beers, just under 20 quid. And, you know, I dare say the Donkey Stone one worries me. Good evening, Kevin. Yeah, the Donkey Stone one worries me because of their previous beers at Lidl's and that. But should be interesting, you know. They've got 4,000 fans, so they can't be that bad a brewery. Unless it's just because they're national and that. God knows. I suppose it's not the quality, it's not the amount of people you've got subscribing to you, is it? None of that. But yeah, I think the one that I'm really looking forward to is this one, the maple syrup stout from Love Lane. That does sound very interesting. 7.4%, under £2, I think it was anyway. I mean, if that was at Sainsbury's or Asda or Tesco's, it'd be £3.50. So it's amazing how Lidl can get them so cheap. They're either not taking any profit off it, or they're, you know, there's got to be a reason why it's that cheap. Duty pushes the price of beer up as well. So, the 71 brewing one as well. I like the sound of that. That really is interesting. A lemon verbena slushy sour. Yeah, I like the sound of that one. I've had the Truffin Wild Beer one before though, so I'm not overly fussed about that one. And the coconut IPA, that's interesting. That'd be interesting to see if it comes out. Flavours in craft beers is interesting. Craft lagers and that. Coconut IPA, it should do. I mean, the guava lager definitely is interesting. So, lemon one is lovely. I had it today. Oh, reviews up Tuesday. Yeah, I thought that's what you meant. Yeah. I tend to do my reviews on the day I do the beers now. I used to stockpile them, but yeah, once you've got the ability to go live on your phone, it's a lot bloody easier. Good evening, Andy. How are you? Young. Need an haircut. And yeah, I used to stockpile beer reviews, but nowadays I just bash them out. I think that's the thing when you break that 1,000 barrier, you've got that ability to do that. I know you can do it on StreamYard, but StreamYard, I can't be doing StreamYard. It's all right for doing, you know, setting up a live stream, and especially if you're talking to somebody else. Yeah, you can. It should kick in pretty soon. I had to message them though. It took about 2 weeks later, and I'm like, I thought I was allowed to go live, and then all of a sudden it just did it. So yeah, got your headphones on full volume, still very quiet. Good evening, Shane. Let me give it a blow. Yeah, yeah. I'm just giving your headphones a blow. Bought a beer for your first live. Awesome, awesome. At least you've done lives. Well, you did one with me, didn't you? The Castle Rock. I'm going to try and use my son's phone at some stage because I am concerned about this bloody microphone situation. Yeah, it does bug me. My only downer is I go to work as a gardener, and my phone's in my pocket. Dirt goes in my pocket, and that clogs up the microphones and all that business. I ain't got a pin anywhere either I can stick in, and I'm always a bit conscious that sounds okay. That's all right then. Yeah. If everyone was saying it, that'd be a bit worrying. Sometimes it's just my shit voice. But yeah, first beer live, eh? Ooh, that'll be quite the moment. It was for me, you know. It was like waiting and waiting, and you know, you kept going up near 1,000, and then it kept dropping down, and it's like, why do people even bother? Don't subscribe. And it's up and down like an absolute bloody pair of prostitutes' knickers. And then all of a sudden it did it. It did it, and I daren't say anything. I just had to wait a few times. Wraggy, haven't you beer for the live? That does sound good. Any beer festivals coming up soon in Nottingham going to attend? Definitely Robin Hood Beer Festival in October. There is a beer festival coming up, funnily enough, at the Nottingham Arboretum. My workplace for 20 odd years, and my wife's not interested in going. I don't think she's bothered about the Arboretum. But it's late August, 26th of August, so might even think about going down on the Saturday. And take meet up with a mate and go in, and yeah, that'll be funny. Yeah. See all the dodgy bleeders that are on there. Some good breweries going though. Vocation are going to be there. Quite a few locals are there, but they charge you. They pay for the beer. It's a really strange one. They pay for the beer, but any money, 100% of the money goes to them. So you've got to man your bar, but the money goes to them. That's a strange way of working it. Birthday week, hey, good on you. What, this week or August? But yeah, definitely looking at Derby's Beer Con in September. That's about it, really. I'm not overly fussed with going further afield. Got to get back, haven't you? And then you've got or you've got to start paying to stay over at places. And I'm not the sort of person who pays to stay over. I like to get back home to my own bed, yeah, and then have a sleepless night in my own bed. But be interesting. The Robin Hood Beer Festival should be a real good one this year. Back at the cricket ground. It was a cracking beer festival last year, to be fair. And I actually helped set it up. I went down one day to set it up. Yeah. Showed all the Odins how to chuck beer barrels on. And and the vast majority of them really are quite old as well, bless them. Tuesday. Oh, happy birthday for Tuesday. Yeah. Are you off work this week then? I'll never work my birthday. Never, ever. Like most people, you don't want to be at work on any given day if you can help it, even if you love your job. But certainly not working your birthday. It's like Christmas. I love Christmas at home with the family, and went to the Pitcher and Piano in Nottingham City Centre. Isn't it bloody marvellous? Picture and piano. Lace Market area. Big old church. If it is, I've been in donkeys years ago. But yeah, Nottingham has got so many good afternoons all week. Oof. Yeah, so many good pubs and bars in the city centre. It's staggering how many there is. And to say that the beer trades had such a rough 2 years, Nottingham, you know, yeah, there's been the odd pub that shut down, but a lot of them pubs were no opers before before COVID even. Good evening, Benjamin. How are we? Yeah, so a lot of these pubs were rough pubs in rough areas that were always going to struggle. And but the majority of pubs, I've not seen many pubs at all that have closed down. I think one Castle Rock pub closed down, um, but there was reasons for that. Like I say, it was already an unprofitable pub, and that's before COVID. So, but yeah, most of the pubs, in fact, around me, there's more pubs, more micro pubs. Sherwood, literally on my doorstep, there's an absolute load of micro pubs and that on there, little bars and stuff, and it's like, Jesus Christ, where did all these come from? Yeah, it's crazy how many have popped up from nowhere. It is. So, this is all right. It's easy going. That's what I'm drinking, and good evening, John. No wonder Jesus turned water to wine. Yeah. Yeah, we're all pissheads, aren't we? In the grand scheme of things. Hey, even then, I wonder what wine he turned it into. I wonder if it was a nice, Montepulciano or Barola. Yeah, probably be some sweet wine, to be fair. Hoping to do a homebrew on the mate's grainfather soon. Ooh, what tickles your fancy, mate? Obviously, I've just done a homebrew beer. Um, a homebrew pale ale. Lots of hops. So the brewing process I thought was okay. It's the bloody cleaning process and the hops that are an absolute pain in the arse. I need to work out how to get a better way of keeping the hops out of the rest of the beer. Yeah, hops in tea bags are the best because they stay inside the tea bag and they don't piss all over your beer. So for me, that's the better way of doing it. But well, was I supposed to, when the hops were boiling, was I supposed to just chuck them in and let them all sink to the ground? Double IPA. Ooh, 7 to 8%. Ooh, bless you. I want to do a mild on the next one. I'm looking at that anyway. There's a mild kit that I've seen, grain kit. A local brewery, and I do fancy doing that. It's a low ABV, so I'll bump the ABV up myself, as you do. But then at some stage, an impy stout has got to be on the cards. Got to be on the cards. Spatten. Gonna give up beer soon. Oh, sorry to hear that. Drink a few times and I've got things to focus on there. There are times when that comes to all of us, mate. Just going back to doing whatever we need to do. Good evening, Dave. How are you, mate? Been a while. But yeah, like I say, we're drinking. I mean, good evening, Michael. We all do what we have to do. Sometimes you have to knock it off, and it's like me. I lowered the beer wall down because I didn't want to be spending silly money on beers, and it's worked out quite nicely now, actually. The the top for like the beers that really hit the spot, and then 2 shelves solid with beers. Although this one here, it can have beers double. A golden mild. That's new. New on me anyway. Apparently it's an old stout brewed by their apprentice brewer. Her first beer. Shit, that's a statement, isn't it? Hey, hey. That is an absolute banging statement. Knocked off one day before, I know. Yeah. Anxiety is a killer. Stress and anxiety. I hate it. Yeah, work at the moment. I'm going back into, with the weather changing now, the work's going to get a bit more solid now again. So, nearly enough beer to get through the month. It's going to have a quiet buy month this month. Yeah, I've got a few beers to buy next week. But overall, I won't be buying over too much. So, good evening, Mr. Bramwell. I'm drinking this. So, Four Finger Jack, American Pale Ale, 4.6%. Yeah, easy drinking, as you can see. Looks nice enough, slight hazy. Subtle tropical nose. No, grass isn't growing much at the moment, mate. That's why I knocked off. I had 2 weeks where I didn't do any overtime after hours. Didn't do any work last weekend. I did this weekend, and both gardens needed the work. But you know, if you leave it too long, then all of a sudden it becomes a task. So I shall have a look. Nico Williams, Forest have signed a lot of players. There's an intent. There's certainly an intent to stay up. I just hope they haven't done too far with the old what's his face, Lingard. But I suppose we'll see in that respect. Only one of the Lakes Brewco birthday ones coming out. There's 10% peanut butter MP stout. Sounds nice. Work in education. Yeah, I mean, we have to do what we do, Benjamin. You know, we all have to, you know. There's things I want to do, so I'm going to have to knuckle down and do a few extra hours again, even though sometimes 8 hours just kills you. You know, you've had enough. And it depends on what you work and where you work, obviously, and people you work with. Yeah, lovely people. Andy, I know it's something you want to enjoy, but have you got any plans for what you might brew in the winter? A mince pie imperial stout. Ooh. See, I definitely want to go down the imperial stout route, but on the grain brew, because it's cheaper. So if I buy the kit, it's 43 quid. If I get the grain equivalent, it's he said he could do it for 23 quid, the equivalent of what 20 litre kit, but that's probably as much as I'm going to get out of it anyway, because just for the fact that the bloody hops take so much. But then you can use an essence to flavour it. Yeah, hours in a day. Sometimes it's what you see. You know, when I worked on the Arboretum, I did an 8-hour day, but you know, dealing with idiots every single day. So the physicality is not just that; it's the other side as well, the mental with work. You know, it depends where you are. Save money and buy the Russian Imperial again. Yeah, I mean, I've done years ago. I was doing when I was about 21, 18-hour days. I was on some amazing money. But then again, I didn't have a girlfriend at the time, so it was before I met my wife, and work was my life then. But yeah, 12 hours. It's a long trek. I'll probably be doing near enough that twice a week over the next few weeks and months. 12 times 5 shifts, then you're on holiday. Oh, fair play. 60-hour week next week. I probably do similar with my gardening jobs together as well as my normal job. So yeah, on a normal week anyway, when the grass is actually growing, you know. Not that we've seen a lot of that just lately. I do know what you mean, Bramall. Yeah, I understand that. The sparging bit. Yeah, I've got more vessels, so luckily, yeah. Druggies and drunks in the shopping centre. Yeah, I know. Public park, we've seen every degree of life. Drunks, druggies, people trying to rob people, um, people shagging, yeah, topless sunbathers, people, all sorts, all sorts of good stuff and bad stuff. Was it you, Bowman? Terrible, terrible. Thornbridge Cocoa Wonderland, an absolutely exceptional beer for a supermarket beer. Yeah, I do like that. I do hope Morrison's don't ditch it. That would be a sad loss to the Morrison's beer range. Yeah, jobs are funny things when you do. You know, sometimes this working from home for a lot of people has been a godsend because you've not had to put up with the office politics, and it's politics also that can ruin a good job. I hate that. Keep hearing about men wanking, not anyone doing it yet though. Yeah, I mean, why would you? In the public toilet. Yeah. I mean, I've seen, well, I've not seen it as in caught somebody doing it, but yeah, we've seen the aftermaths of a lot of that sort of stuff in the Arboretum over the years. Yeah, yeah. People in the bushes and yeah. Oh dear, oh dear. It's enough to make you crease. No, you don't want to catch anyone doing that. No, 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 no. I've been deadheading dahlias and seen two blokes wanking each other's off. Well, I could see the hand moving backwards and forwards. Luckily, I could not see anything more. But yeah, that was enough. It's like, fuck that. You know, don't want to see it. Um, yeah, that's public toilets for you. So in your job, Benjamin, you'll see some of the worst of life. Sadly, supermarkets, you do see some, and them shopping centres, you do see some absolute scroats, and you can spot some a mile off. Like you get the lads walking in with the hoods up and dressed in grey or black, and it's like, oh, here we go, a couple of muggers here, and yeah. So yeah, definitely looking at an impy start later this Christmas. I didn't get a lot of vanilla in the Audi coffee stout, you know. It was nice coffee though. It was decent. Badger beers though, let's be fair. Badger know how to do a good beer. And not only that, they've been brewing for supermarkets for donkey's years. So they know also how to brew cheaper but still deliver. Um, but yeah, it was a good coffee stout. Even the wife liked it. For her, it was nice and subtle, the coffee. Um, I actually think it was better than the Guinness cold brew coffee as well, which you've got to watch opening that when it's warm, because you open it when it's warm, it's going everywhere, no mind anywhere else. But yeah, yeah, it's good to see Audi going down this route. I'm not happy with these fake bloody Cranbourne Poacher. Oh, Jesus Christ, if ever there was a beer, the old Poacher's Choice. God knows why they changed the name. Um, but yeah, all their beers. I don't know of any bad, certainly bottled Badger beers. Can't think of any. Tanglefoot in can these days is a bit boring. But then you've got the stronger versions of Tanglefoot, which are really, really nice, that you can get from their website. Yeah, Golden Glory, peach and melon, stunning beer. Golden Champion, again, stunning summery beer. Thirsty Ferret, bit more, you know, mainstream beer, but still a nice beer. Hopping Air, oh, the ginger one, Blandford Flyer. Yeah, that's an absolute stunning ginger beer. I haven't had that for ages, actually. Might have to go and get some. And I might actually re-review some of the old traditional beers, simply because a double opt IPA from Badger. Yes, and they've got tropical Thirsty Ferret as well. Trying to think what the double IPA was, or was it Tanglefoot double or something along them lines. But yeah, truly a cracking brewery. You know, you got to respect the decent brewers. I mean, the other one's St. Peter's, Shepherd Neame. Shepherd Neame makes some great beer. They're Kentish hops from Craig's area of the world. But I wish their Christmas, is it their Christmas ale, or is it Fuller's? Can't remember now. Sure, it's Shepherd Neame's Christmas ale. Little Fruit Phaser Mango Vanilla Smoothie IPA. No. No, I've not even seen that, mate. Down south. ESB, and good evening, John. ESB Orped in the Fuller's pub. Oh, I'd love to have some of the bigger beers, Fuller's beers in the pubs, gotta be honest. Milestone beer yesterday in Spoons. Yeah, they are. Yeah, not far away from me. I'm working actually. And for the homebrew, they actually make homebrew kits as well. Do some good beers. Looked in Sainsbury's today, lack of stouts, disappointing. Black Sheep, milk stouts, or Guinness range. Is that it? Sainsbury's used to have a stunning range of beers, you know, traditional beers. There's a lot of bloody, there's a lot of the Brewdog in there these days. Blandford Flyer, amazing beer. Mr. Meister, good evening. Bishop's Finger, yeah. Still wonder about calling it Bishop's Finger though. Does sound a bit wrong, yeah. Can I have a Bishop's Finger? Oh, did you know? Good evening, Mark the Pondering Man. Live number 3. Yes, I did notice you was over on Scott's, because I looked at doing a live and I was going to do one about R7 and I looked and I thought, Jesus Christ, there's about 3 people doing lives. And save your money on gimmick beers. Some of the gimmick beers are all right, to be fair, but not all. 7.5% ABV. You're going to review it this week, Mr. Bowman. Good. Bateman's Mocha Stout is a stunner. It was last at Morrison's. Yeah, it was last at Morrison's. So it should still be there, really. But it is. I remember when it won the Sainsbury's Great British Beer Festival, whatever it was called back then, back in 2013, I think it was. The last one they did as well, bloody miserable Sainsbury's. That was amazing to look forward to. In the 5 years I worked there, well, 3 of the 5 years. But sadly they got rid. Under £2. You can't fault it, can you? I was just saying about the Lidl beers earlier. 12 for under 20 quid. You can't fault that. Craft beers, 12 for under 20 quid. You know, you can't even you struggle to get bloody 12 traditional beers for that price at the moment, unless you get them on the 4 for 6 at Tesco's. So it is a good price. And Lidl, yeah, was Lidl on it? Yeah, of course it was Lidl. Trying to think where it was then. So tasting nice. I'm gonna have drink of my clone beer that I made using both the Muntons kit and 2 different hops. My mum died of cancer, and the bastards tried to put me on a till. And I said to them, look, I can do the work on the shop floor, which I was paid for, but they got to the stage where they were bullying people. Anybody with any mental health issues, they were saying to them, we're going to train you up so you can help with the tills. You go down to the tills, they're all stood around doing that, and then they'll keep shouting you, so your work's not getting done. And so then, looks like a Badgerian sample. So then I jumped onto nights, and I just got so fed up with the company. I thought, wow, that's it. Time to go back into doing what I like doing and gardening. So I'd had 5 years away and then jumped back in. So all but 5 years of my working life as a gardener. Yeah. And it was nice to get away for a few years, to be honest. You know, not enduring cold winters, not enduring mega hot summers, and you know, I mean, you still have to endure idiots, as you know, in anywhere near any retail. There's always idiots, and I always like to deal with them. Though. £1.65. That's good. That is. Bateman's, Lincolnshire, do some good beers. I do like Bateman's, and hopefully they're down at the Robin Hood Beer Festival again this year. Cassell's Nitro Stout was cracking in moderation. Overdid and had a dodgy cut the next day. John, I dropped a right bollock earlier in the week. Come down the shed for a late beer. I thought, fuck it, I'll have a late beer, as you do. And got a beer off the shelf, cracked it open, poured it into a glass. Thought, oh, that's a bit fizzy. Jesus. Started to drink it, and it just, the heat of the fizziness bubbled my stomach up. I had the worst, not only did I have the worst wind, I couldn't move. And a valuable lesson. Yeah, if the beer room's hot, don't bother drinking out from there. Yeah, we'll put the bugger in the fridge first. Pot scared to go out and grit the paths and car park in your suit and tie with a high-vis jacket. Don't they have contract people to go and grit? That's usually done by gritters. Although, to be fair, with gritting, the common thing that they do wrong with grit is put too much down. You only actually need to put a trickle down. Get a shovel and just flick it off the shovel with your finger, or use a like a lollipop stick and just flick it off, because the cars churn it in. Unless it's coming down heavy with snow, then no fucking point anyway. So that's part of my job as well in the winter months. Not that we've really had any snow, and Spitfire £2.20 a bottle. Yeah, it is. There is a trend at the moment where prices are going up. Only Tesco's, for their traditional beers, are still doing the 4 for £6. You look at the prices of Tesco's beers, they're staying at about £1.70. Even Abbott Reserve at 6.5. You go into the other supermarkets, fucking prices have gone up. It's wrong. It should be pretty much a standard price. Throw down as much as you can, waste their money. I can't fault it. It's not, if it's the white grit you're putting down, like a white salt that you're putting down, it's something that's ridiculous price for them bags. 50 quid a bag. Local Spar's just got a load of tiny rebel 7 brothers and farmyard ales in. I tell you what, that time I went to Poulton's Park last year, I was stunned by how many was it the Londis I went to? The beers they had in there, it's like Jesus. Absolutely stunning. Loads at £1.65. Morrison's £2. Yeah, no, it's daft, isn't it? I don't understand the pricing, because I know Morrison's and Asda are doing that 4 for 3 thing, 4 beers for the price of 3. But on some of the big mainstream beers, it's crap. Last winter it was the white shit. It came in lots of small bags as opposed to big 1-ton bags like usual. Yeah, the usual. I've seen them mostly in like 50-kilo bags. Not really. Nearly get myself a shower of them. I agree, Mr. Meister, and I think in some ways Morrison's and Asda are gifting Lidl and Aldi. Lidl and Aldi can do more of these craft beer festivals, as they call them. The breweries that are supplying them, obviously they're gonna pay a price and whatnot. But like today, 12 beers for 20 quid. You know, money talks. Money will talk this winter more than it has done for a hell of a long time. Especially when gas and electric goes silly. Hey, off to Malta. Hey, can't fault you. Fucking hell, don't go when the airports are busy. Jesus Christ. And Dover the other day, 6-hour queues to get out of the country. I won't bother. I'd just head up north and go Scotland, or to the beaches in England. Why sit in 6-hour queues to go to France? Some started living out there. Fair play. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what craft beers are in Malta and what beers are ever there. Yeah, it'd be good to put some videos up and see what they're like. You're doing well, John. Sometimes then when I do find Lidl so bloody hit and miss in Nottingham. But yeah, 6 Belgian beers, 2 for Crimbo. Yeah, you can't fault them for the price. 2 quid. You could pay 6 or 7 quid each for that. Lord Chambray beers in Malta. Yeah, that's yeah. Taking the sunflower. So let me just get that one finished. Be better from a fridge, that would be. So this, wow, look at the carbonation starting to come up. I was wondering where that was going, Benjamin. I was wondering where that was going. Yeah. It's funny how you notice, don't you? You just notice little things, and yeah. So yeah, I mean, the beer that I was trying to replicate with this is a very similar colour to this. It's clearer because obviously it's on cask, so it's going to be clear. Same hops. Don't get on the cask. You'll do about 20 pints of it with no cisk or cask. With no effect apart from going to the gents 4 times an hour. I know that's the only problem until once you break that seal. So this is a clone that I made of what's called Slap in the Face when Totally Brewed, and its other name is Stargazer, and using a Muntons light malt kit, then with two lots of hops, and it turned out quite nice. It's not clear like the beer in the soup in the cask, but I don't think it was ever going to be that way. But it's certainly, I think it was Chinook and Summit and Chinook were the hops. For those who know their hops, I don't. Never took the notice. I remember the names, but I don't know what the hops do. And again, needs to be in a fridge. When I actually take this out for proper drinking, it will be in a fridge. So I'm taking a load of this away in October. I've now done 5 different kits, and I just hope some of the Imperial Stout will be left in October. I've already, took a dent in it already. This is the problem, isn't it? Cisco, rightio. Budvar left me some. Yeah, it's amazing how breweries, Lidl's can be so hit and miss. You'll go in and Cisc, it's Malta's macro lager. Oh, rightio. About 4%, I take it. I must admit, I can't wait to go back to Spain. After next year, and we've got the wedding vow thing out of the way. Definitely thinking about going abroad again, getting out there. We're trying to miss the times of the year when it's mega busy, i.e., going nowhere near the start of summer holidays. Yeah, my son will be miraculously ill when we need him to be, and it's got to be done on it. I'm not paying silly prices for going anywhere. Would like to go back to Orlando, but money, especially at the moment, the prices and the dollar and pound rate is crap. When we last went, it was like when we last went, it was £2 to a dollar. Or was it the other way around? $2 to a pound. Yeah, yeah. 40 degrees out there yesterday. But thing is, when you're on holiday, you don't mind the heat, do you? Because you're in and out of the pool. That keeps you cool. You're drinking beer like it's gone out of fashion. And then you're going to sit in the aircon. So it doesn't affect you as much. And it's not as muggy heat as it is here. I mean, even tonight, it's as muggy as bloody hell here. Spain in September. Ooh, which part? Benidorm. My wife's getting some messages. Pisses me off. It comes up on my phone so I can see all the messages coming through. Someone hadn't paid her for a cake, and then all of a sudden they've just reminded themselves that, oh, I sent you a message last week. Yeah, bollocks, did you? Yeah, Spain. For me, the saloon near Barcelona is stunning. Portaventura, depends if you like theme parks. Portaventura theme park is just absolutely amazing. I love it there. And Mr. Meister, yeah, Jesse Lingard. It's certainly brought a lot of attention to Nottingham Forest. Although Forest going up was the big story of the Championship season last year, anyway. But yeah, it's an interesting. I mean, Forest had already done quite a good bit of business before that. So I just hope Jesse Lingard delivers for Forest. You know, he could be the next Ronaldo if he puts his brain to the task. A lot of money to pay for him. I do hope he doesn't knacker it up. Hopefully they've got a clause where they can fuck him off if he does shite. But yeah, Los Gigantes on the Canary Islands. Rightio. Did a few Mangrove Jacks kits recently. Yeah, Mangrove Jacks, their kits are good. I know Goathead and Liam Rusco, they've both done Mangrove Jacks, and they are pretty decent kits, and there's a lot of them these days. Muntons have now got a Taproom series of kits. They're cheap as well. One's a watermelon sour. I'm tempted to get it. Yeah, I'll start reviewing the Little beers this week, most likely. Lidl still has some beers from last beer festival. I know it's bonkers, isn't it? Hey, I reckon sometimes they come in late and then they chuck them on the shelf just to get rid. Turkey or Bulgaria, I suppose, the go-to place for Brits looking for value for money. Yeah, I'm not really bothered about Turkey or Bulgaria. Yeah, I want somewhere with a good theme park. That's my whole point for going anywhere abroad. I don't sit down much. I don't sit down much when I'm at home, so it's a struggle. Pink grapefruit for the fourth time. Isn't the pink grapefruit one the one that's very similar to the Brewdog beer, if memory serves me correctly? The Elvis juice. Because if it is, then I've done that as well. I know I've done a grapefruit one. I'm not sure if it was the pink one though. But yeah, as for reviewing, I do want to toss it up between um, craft beers, local beers, and then lagers and ciders and stuff, just so I get a balanced approach to it. And well, craft beers, local beers, and then older. Get rid of the old stuff and try and get rid and get it all gone, and then never do that again. Go so silly. Yeah, they do. The Homebrew beats Foster's and Carlsberg, and you got a bit of taste to go with it as well. Um, yeah, I brewed it when it first came out, the Grapefruit IPA, and it was amazing back then. Yeah, didn't take long to brew either. I brewed three in the shed at the same time, and then we had a bit of a heat wave came in, and within 2 days they'd all brewed. It was amazing. I brewed head cracker, not quacker, um, from Woodford's, and I brewed the mangroves, and then there was another one, Evil Dog. It would have been the first time I brewed Evil Dog, and or maybe the second time, but yeah, absolutely belting it was. Ooh. Well, sadly, I need to wrap up and get my arse back up the house. I always, with the mangrove jacks and anything that comes in these bloody pouches, best thing to do is to warm the pouches up first. But I always put them in like a water jug. So, and then put the water in and swirl it round, and that gets that gets the rest of it. But yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. Bit of hot water and jobs are good. And yeah, as GoTed says. Good evening, Brian. Drinking Evil Dog now. Fair play. Fair play. I had a load of it at one stage. It went down too quickly. It's amazing how quick you can get through beer when you start necking it. Jesus. 1 minute you've got 40 pints of home brew in the shed. A week later it's gone and you're like, where'd that go? And yeah, sure someone's been in and necking it for me. If you, could you imagine if you actually, all the beer you drank in a year, if you actually put all that together? And so I'm actually drinking, well I was, I'm going to pour myself another little bit out. It's a homebrew and it's from Muntons. Good evening, Bolton. And yeah, it's a homebrew from Muntons. So it's a Muntons malt kit, and then you add the hops to it. And it's turned out okay. It's not turned out the exact. It's turned out the same colour, but just not clear. Um, Although, to be fair, when it was sat over there, it was crystal clear. The minute you cracked open the bottle, the sediment and all that, whatever, starts to flow up, and it's took the clearness off. So yeah, it was clear. So that's amazing how they do that. Yeah, I've not seen Head Cracker in years. It was a lovely barley wine, and it was cheap as well. You know, because let's be fair, some of these kits they know how to charge, and Yeah, and that's the problem with them. I mean, the Beerworks kit, the Imperial now is 43 quid for the kit. It's a lot of money for a kit. And because you've got to brew it first, and if you fuck it up, that's 43 quid down the drain. 16 empty pint bottles, which used to have mangrove jack cider in them. I know, this is the thing. It's amazing. I mean, I've got 3 wine racks here with loads of beer on, and it's amazing how there's gaps appearing. And I don't remember drinking it, but yeah, I'm the only one with the key to the shed, so it's definitely me. But Evil Dog, stunning. Next time you do Evil Dog, get the kit, but the hops that come with it, disregard those hops. Have a look for hops that are in tea bags from your local. So yeah, it's a homebrew. Basically, it's a clone of a totally brewed beer. That's what I'm drinking. But with the hops, go for different hops. Um, very slowly. Yeah, I tried, but it just went. I mean, it still tastes brilliant, you know, but it's just hazy instead of crystal clear. So yeah, but yeah, different hops. You know, you look what the commercial breweries are doing. Like this one here, this coconut IPA. It's got Sabro, which delivers coconut, and Sriracha Ace. So if you get them in tea bag form, for God's sakes, don't get them loose. They're fucking nuisance. But if you get them in tea bag form, the hops. So you do your Evil Dog, and then you chuck them in when you're supposed to chuck them in, and that will deliver a lovely different flavour. And so you could then that way you're using Evil Dog as a base. And yeah, Evil Dog can come out at some silly ABVs. It can. I mean, I've had it up to 12%, and whatever yeast they use is fantastic for you know. Although someone did tell me to use a Kvik yeast because it just absolutely burns the ABV. And for next time I do an imperial stout, so that'll be interesting. I do want to try and do an imperial stout at about 16%, but you know, I don't know if I'd fancy doing a grain one with that much because that would mean a hell of a lot of grain, and I don't know if I could be arsed for that much. I think I'd rather try it with sugar and do it that way, do it the old-fashioned way. You wouldn't use Kvik on an impy. Brute force additive? No, I've not seen that. Never even heard of it. Good homebrew lager, around the 5% mark. Hammer of 4 by Bulldog. Yeah, that's decent. It's about 5.8%, but yeah. And it's easy to brew as well. It is easy to brew. Yours was 12%, go Ted. Yeah, that yeast they use is crazy. It's crazy how good it is. I think all beer kits are going to go up and wine kits. Yeah, I think it's because of everything else going up. I think it's only going to do it. Supposed to brew the sugar? Well, I'll give more alcohol. Oh, that's interesting. Brute force additive. MJ Pina Colada is a good lager. Mangrove Jacks. Might have to look at that myself and see, because I've got some friends coming away with us in October, and I don't think that lager is going to appeal to them because it's a bit hazy, which lager drinkers don't like hazy, and something that looks like a lager ish would be a better option. Sadly, I'm going to have to go because I'm going to get a bollocking off the wife, and I've got to go up early in the morning. Back to the getting up for 5:30. But massive thank you for everyone for showing up tonight and joining in. It's a peanut, pineapple, and coconut. Nice. And you know, it's great to have a good chat with everyone. See you soon. How do I turn it off? Oh, there. Cheers. Have a good one. How did my traditional brewing end up? Oh, the grain brewing. It's ended up really well, mate. I did a video earlier reviewing it slightly, but in a few days' time, when it secondary ferments, I'll put that video online. But yeah, it's worked out well. Not too hard to do. Oh, ish. Cheers. Let's see if it turns off.